Welcome to the first, and hopefully of many, WCWM sessions with the Duskwhales. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Brian Majewski.
What do you do?
I play keyboards.
I'm Seth, I play guitar.
Chris Baker, I play drums.
They are kind enough to stop in while they're on the road. They're playing the Meridian later tonight, but we're kind enough to do a set in here, so we're going to talk to us about how tour has been going so far, what place you've played already, any interesting stories.
Oh, so many characters.
Yeah, tour's been going really well. This is technically day 7, I think. Yeah, we've been in North Carolina only, actually. So this is our first show of tour not in North Carolina. But, well, I guess that's not true. We played in Harrisonburg. Yeah, Harrisonburg is probably like the most interesting story, actually, because we didn't...
a crime.
Yeah, we didn't have a place to stay, so we had well, we did have a place to stay with a friend of ours, but he went to sleep, and so we weren't sure how to get into his house, and then we walked into the wrong house, and this was right after a show, so we're like in our get-ups, and like Seth's got glitter on his face. He just walks into this guy's house, and this guy's like, hello? Tristan said we could stay here. He's like, I don't know who Tristan is. So it's just like, I just walked into a stranger's house.
It's a crime.
Yeah, I'm just like standing on the sidewalk laughing at him.
What if it was Tristan's house?
Yeah, right?
You just didn't know who he
It
was.
looked exactly like Tristan's house.
I feel like they might have been in the wrong house.
Yeah, probably.
Theory.
Also, like, how do you not know who your neighbor is?
Yeah, bad neighbor.
College.
Yeah, I suppose so. But, yeah, tour's been going well.
It's kind of like an odyssey. There's all these like different characters that like you happen to meet. Like we were walking down the street the other day, and Brian was like, "Oh, that guy's like totally gonna talk to us," and then he talked to us.
Yeah, called us the Beatles. He spat on me.
I think he just wanted a cigarette mostly.
Yeah. He was pretty upset when we didn't have any cigarettes for him. And then last night, actually.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, there was this. I think he was probably homeless, but he ended up packing our car for us. He was like really adamant about packing all of our equipment up, and he was a really friendly guy, so that was cool.
He offered us his shoes.
His name was Cedric.
He had really nice Timberlands.
Yeah. Just wanted to give.
Yeah. You got any stories?
Driving.
Nothing we should know about while we've both been asleep and we've been driving.
Chris does all the driving.
Yeah, we've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
It's been good.
S-Town.
We made it through S-Town, and we just finished Serial.
Backtrack to
again
Serial
today. That's been good.
Yeah.
Very
Have you guys
interesting.
listened to that?
Oh yeah. S-Town.
S-Town's
Really
really
good.
good. It's sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
Good for passing the time while driving.
Why don't they drive?
Brian's,
I've offered.
Brian's legally blind, and Seth is like on medication. Also, I don't trust them. But
It's most of that last one. I'm not taking notice of it anymore.
okay, well,
My glasses are at home.
You don't have glasses. Your glasses are at home in pieces.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yo, Brian, Seth, and Chris, what are your favorite small things about each other that you appreciate when you guys are on the road?
Our favorite small things that we appreciate about each other.
Can I say one?
Yeah, that gives me time to think of one.
I appreciate it when Chris asks you to make him a sandwich while you're making yourself a sandwich, and you make him a sandwich instead of making yourself one first.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, that's sweet of you. I guess, it used to annoy me, but Seth does these, like, vocal exercises.
I especially need to do them right now because I just have my wisdom teeth removed like last
Yeah, and that's
Monday.
what's really cool is that, so yeah, Seth just had his wisdom teeth removed, and then, like, a very bizarre thing happened where his tonsils...
I got like ulcers on them. And It's
Yeah.
like really painful to talk, but I could sing.
But it's incredible because, like, you didn't complain about it.
I
mean,
totally
there were times where you would be like, oh man, my throat really hurts, probably because your throat really hurt, you know, but like, for the most part, you would like sing shows and be totally cool about it. So that was nice. I like noticed that you weren't complaining. It
I
made
agree,
me
though,
not want to complain.
The vocal warm-ups started out as like an annoying thing, but
It's
then
kind of comforting
slowly became like it's almost like there's
Like
like
white
a
noise.
Dude,
there's
show
like,
them what
yeah,
your vocal warm-ups
demonstrate.
are.
Stand
So
up.
it's really good. It's really good if you like just to like activate like your diaphragm to like just lightly cough. So like, but not too hard. And then yawning is really, really good because that opens up the air passages and just kind of like loosens a lot of these muscles.
Right, these are the boring ones.
These are just
Get
things
them-
No, these are really useful. If you don't go in order, you're just completely done. Big drops. The lead singer, he does these exercises.
Yeah.
And then so yawning, just like kind of stuff like that.
They're
You
in
can,
college. they
Yeah,
don't
yawning.
know.
you can make yourself yawn. And then I'll just do like the basic like. I hate
Through
you.
the shoulders.
And go like.
Shoulder.
I hate you so
Wait,
much.
but
Do
do
the,
like
like,
improve the high pitch.
Just hours and hours. Like it started out bad. It's kind of like there's like a bird outside your window and you don't like it at first, and then it's sort of become like
If
your
it's
roaming
not there, you
friend.
miss
It becomes family,
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys aren't making this up on the spot.
No.
No, I swear.
This is actual stuff that I
He's
do.
been doing this for like.
It's really hard sometimes if I forget to do it in a car and then like we're in the venue and it's like, oh crap, I gotta find somewhere to do this where no one will find me. It's like, I'm not gonna go into the bathroom and do this.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd freak out.
Chris, say one.
You just said one.
But that was mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't
So
take mine.
let's see. For Seth, he has a good habit because Seth rides passenger, and Brian's in the caboose making the sandwiches and whatnot. But Seth has a good habit of like when we're making turns and stuff, just like making sure that we're not
you
killing
can't-
anyone.
You can't
so-
see out of the back at all.
Which can be like a little bit annoying sometimes, but also it's good that
That's why I rarely
he's
do
like
it.
an extra pair of eyes of, making sure that because the visibility with the
Well, I mean,
car,
2020 and then like
It's
he
pretty
can't see
bad.
anything.
yeah, just because the windows is like packed with stuff basically, and
Yeah.
Brian puts his feet up sometimes and blocks the mirror. But that's a
Right,
negative.
only things you appreciate.
Yeah, that's a non-appreciation. I'm trying to think. Brian, another good thing he does is he's kind of taken on the role of preparing the set lists for the shows.
So true.
So when we're getting close to the venue or what have you, Brian will come up and be like, okay, what are we going to play? And he'll like draft up a set list and run it by Seth and I, and we'll
I'll be
be
unappreciative.
like, no, not that. and
We're
then
trying to
we'll-
do a different
we'll
set
fix
list
it.
every
Yeah,
night.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
this is what Brian brings to the table, which is important. Because if you get there and you don't have a set list, then
Yeah.
you're lost.
I appreciate that Chris booked the entire tour.
Yeah.
That Chris is basically our manager. We don't need a manager because we have Chris.
And finds us like all the places to like sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Minus that one time.
Yep.
That wasn't your fault.
Tristan was sleeping. I feel like Tristan.
Tristan actually runs, like he's one of the head of like Mac Rock committee, so he had just gotten back from doing that, I think.
Yeah.
was
No, he's a wonderful
justifiable.
guy. He's really tall.
He's so tall.
It's probably exhausting being that tall. You had to go to
The
bed.
air is like a lot thinner.
Good question.
A lot of things there.
You mentioned Macrock, and we talked when we were setting up American University. Are you all hitting a lot of like colleges on this tour?
Yeah, it seems that way. It wasn't necessarily intentional, but it's just a lot of the places that we had played before. It's easy to get booked again because
Yeah.
people like you are like, oh yeah, and they actually like want to book bands. Whereas like more venues they don't really care. They're just kind of in it for like, can the band bring in money sort of thing. Whereas like kids in college running house shows and stuff are like, yeah, this band is cool, or even if they don't know them, we'll give them a chance kind of thing, which is good. So places like JMU and American University, they've always been really receptive of bands and booking of shows in general, which is cool. So yeah, we didn't play Mac Rock, but we played like the Sunday after it. So people were kind of like in a daze, I think. But
Several
still, it
days
just
of
goes to show
shows.
like even though they had just put on this massive
Goes to
festival, they were
show.
still willing to like book this show for us and got locals to play and stuff, which was cool, and it was a really fun show.
What's one of your favorite memories from like early on in your career as a band? Like very primordial experiences.
Oh, okay.
Before Brian was there. I'm just kidding.
Brian's getting dragged for this.
I'm just kidding. Brian was actually, you're the last member to join.
Mm-hmm.
There were like
There was 6 of us at one
6
point.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lost, and then those characters died.
Yeah.
A really good character that's just...
Nobody died. Just make that clear.
That's meant in Lost, and I was like, people
Oh no, but nobody died in
in the band. No, they just had other things to do.
Better things to do, yeah.
Earliest memory.
One of my favorite early memories was when there were probably 6 people in the band. Yeah, and like we just wanted to like record an EP because that's like what you do. We hadn't even like finished writing like
Songs.
any of the songs, yeah, but it was just like you hit record and then kind of just go for it.
One mic.
We were very young, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Seth is in like 8th or 9th grade.
Babies.
Yeah.
So like
Not right now, like back then.
Only in 9th
we
grade
just
right
like
now.
recorded this super strange EP, yeah, with like one mic onto GarageBand. And we're just like so excited to like have a thing that we could call our own, and it was so bad.
It was like probably the most experimental thing that we've ever done.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, there's like some goat noises on there.
There's definitely
The last, yeah, we had like a hidden track.
There's a track on that album called Friday the 13th,
Right.
which
so
is a track on this new album that we made, but it's totally
sort of
totally
an homage
separate.
to our past. Yeah, we had like random like pouring water noises and like it was like not even music.
It was really bad.
Yeah, but
It was bad.
a funny
songwriting.
thing occurred where like we were talking about the EP and then like I had to dig through to find it on my computer, but like Brian and I were both listening to it like at our houses, and like we both had the same reaction listening to this one song called Moon Balloon. First of all,
Yeah.
great name. Hilarious. And like just like
I played bass on it,
Yeah,
so,
so
but
bad.
it was literally like my first practice
we had
with
2
you guys.
basses on
Yeah.
the song, which is like
And you guys handed me a
don't get
bass, didn't teach me how to play it.
it was not tuned.
I'm also like, don't know how to play music. That's probably my favorite thing about
We really
being in the
dove
band is
into
learning how to
the
play music.
recording.
You
But, like,
actually had to pay people to do that.
Yeah.
yeah, so the bass was like super out of tune, and the song is just like.
I don't think
really-
the bass was out
No,
of tune.
bass wasn't out of tune. I was just playing
Okay.
all the wrong
I
notes.
mean, it might have been. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Brian was out of tune, and like we listened to it and just like laughed uncontrollably the
Hysterical,
entire
yeah.
song. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Like
It's
my
such a
stomach
stupid bass
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
So, it was just like a feeling of pure joy that like how could we have at the time thought that this was like possibly
Acceptable.
yeah, it just sounded so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like in the, yeah. So that's my favorite memory.
Hmm.
There are plans for a reissue of that EP.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
You know what? Yeah, I
we
feel
should.
like we probably should.
I don't think anyone
I have a
should,
copy of it. in the
anyone
car.
should hear
Some
that.
people have it. Yeah, they're scattered. It's called the Duskwhales EPs.
I
Yeah.
feel like we charge people money for that.
Yeah. It's our earliest swindle.
So bad.
You could pay us to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like very strange.
Oh god.
Nothing else.
Yeah, I don't think I. It was just all good times for me. I don't know, just kind of the formative years was really a lot. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Chris and I, like, were the ones that started it. And then, like, Brian came along, like, much later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how long? in
Yeah, how
total
much is
then
much? I don't even know.
Have you guys been a band?
We've been a band for 7 years.
Yeah, I mean 2009 was when it first there were like rustlings of bands.
Yeah, and then I came
starting,
along in
except for
2010.
Yeah,
so
so
it wasn't that much
2010 was
longer.
the real.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fond memories of like playing guitar with Seth like at school during lunch and just
Oh,
like writing songs and playing songs.
I used to bring my electric bass to school, and Seth and I would play like Anti-Flag.
And
That was
Misfits.
fun. Misfits, yeah.
Right, if you know, like, that own, like, an electric bass, you know, you can't hear anything on an
Yeah.
electric bass next to, like, an acoustic.
Which explains why you
It's so
didn't
bad.
know what you were doing.
But I knew how to play those songs.
Yeah, you were playing Anti-Flag during Moonboy.
I just feel like you should have picked up
Yeah.
some bass skills from both of your brothers that played bass.
It's true. Just thought that's what I would go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you do.
I suppose that's true,
Bum,
yeah.
bum.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers the question, sort of.
So if you could pick 3 words to describe the average Duskwhales fan, what would they be?
The average.
Friend.
Yeah.
That's one word.
I know.
There's three of you.
3 separate words, or
okay.
do they
3
have to?
adjectives.
Okay.
Mint.
Minty?
Yeah, because the colors.
Mint shirt.
Mint shirts.
That's funny. Probably, yeah, because most of our fans are our friends, but how do you put that in the adjective? Friendly? I guess they're friendly. Yeah.
Just very supportive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
very
gonna say
supportive.
it's kind of like the generic one, but it's true. I mean, everyone's been like very kind. Like kind is good. But yeah, just the fact that like someone was asking earlier, like, oh, where have you guys been sleeping? It's just like we kind of have taken it for granted at this point, but it's like it's super kind of people
Oh, yeah.
to just like
Give us
let
a
us
place to sleep.
even
That's what
enter
like all of
their
tour
house.
is. It's just like
Just
being given lots of
overwhelmed
stuff.
by
Everybody's
kindness.
just
Just
constantly
generosity.
giving to you. Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't deserve any of it, but here we are.
So generous is also good.
Mhm.
I guess that's 4 now. So
Sometimes you just need more than
Yeah.
three.
tall. Sometimes they're tall.
Sometimes they're really tall.
Oh yeah, tall.
And minty.
I do this like really bad thing,
it's
and I
funny,
think it's
too.
okay. But if I see someone that's tall, I'll say tall.
On average, are they tall or are they short?
Oh, yeah, they're usually pretty tall.
Usually they're pretty tall. We're pretty small.
Nice.
people. Yeah.
We only use words that end in double L's. I don't know. I said tall and then I said small like really quickly after.
So what are some of your favorite bands or artists?
Just like
Oh, that's a hard one.
some bands that we've been playing with that are really cool. We were talking about this band called the Big Drops that are from New
They're so
Jersey.
great.
Yeah, they're really fun.
Cool,
We ended
like
up
surfy stuff.
we played with them in Harrisonburg and ended up staying with them and then playing with them again the following night in North Carolina. Just sort of like on a whim. We're playing with them again in Brooklyn next week. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're like really hilarious and like talented guys.
I'm just excited to be their best friends.
Also from New Brunswick, Dollies.
Yeah, Dollies.
They're incredible.
Really, really
New Brunswick just has some really good bands.
good trio.
Yeah.
It's always cool to see like trio bands.
Yeah.
Like
Well, how else they're pulling it off, like as opposed to us
Right.
pulling it off.
yeah, bands that like
Do it
go-
better than
go
we
the
do.
Trio route.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Talk to Plants.
Talk to
Of
Plants
course,
is
we've
good.
only been able to share the stage with you once
I love
before,
them.
but
It was cool.
here's the future. Oh yeah, it was great.
There's this good band called Milo and the Doldrums. We did our CD release show with them last week, and they're really, really talented musicians. Some of the guys we work with too, so we know all their secrets.
I like bands that like you've been listening to. Do you have yours?
I've been listening to. Let's just think of those CDs that we bought recently.
You bought that stereo lab.
Oh yeah, Stereolab, Best Coast, Sean Nicholas Savage, Kate LeBon, Courtney Barnett. There's this really obscure guy called Pogo. He's like an Australian DJ, but he like makes these remixes of like Disney songs.
Why are you talking?
See, the thing is, like, every time I like remember him, I'm like, oh man, I should like give him a shout out in an interview. I always forget though, but it's true. He has like the best like remixes.
Of Disney
Yeah, he takes like little samples from like Alice in Wonderland and Snow White and stuff, and just
They are
like
cool.
all of the sounds in his songs are just like from Disney movies and stuff, and it's just like listening to it, you wouldn't even like think that, but like if you really sort of dig into like the individual sounds, it's like, oh,
It's
that's
impressive.
totally like Jiminy Cricket or something. Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, listening to Pogo, he's got some really bizarre like dancey
It
music.
is really dancey.
I've been listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, Carole King, and Carly Simon are like the trio of goddesses that I've been listening to a lot lately. Also just picked up Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. It's really good.
He's not in the goddess trio though.
No, he's not, but
Practically.
basically a goddess, yeah.
He's like Zeus in like these.
We're gonna, yeah.
We like met a guy that looked kind of like Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of the characters.
she very much looked like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, he was cool. What are you listening
I listen to that Os Mutantes CD a lot. They're like a Brazilian pop band from like the 70s, and they're really cool. 60s?
Yeah,
Well, they're still alive, so
true. Still
70s,
around.
80s, 90s. What else? The Lemon Twigs. They're like a really cool like young band, like
They're pretty dope.
brothers that are just like 17 and 19 and make really good music. A lot of Whitney. Whitney's album Light Upon the Lake is just really good. I'm excited for the next album. And then
Oxygen's new album is really cool.
I didn't really listen to that as much. I saw it live, which was really cool because it's like they've got like a horn section and then they've got like 2 keyboardists on either side of the stage. Yeah. There's too much music to keep track of. What have you been listening to?
What are you guys' favorite tracks off from the album?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is cool because we like don't really ever play it live.
Yeah.
Partially because like we don't know how.
I just forgot how to
It just
play
requires it requires a second guitar.
Yeah. I like that it's like a album exclusive thing, and like because we don't play it, like people don't really recognize it as much. So it's like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't really get a lot of those because like most of the songs that we ever have we were able to play.
Right.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is my favorite as well.
Wow. I don't agree.
Yeah.
You guys should listen to Friday the 13th.
It's a cool song, yeah.
My friend made a really trippy video for it. Do you have a favorite track off the album?
I don't know. I like Cassie.
Nice.
That's a fun one to finally have recorded. Not the whole way.
What were some of where were you drawing from for like lyrical inspiration on the album and like the titles and stuff? Because I like some of like Cassiopeia, Slow Down, Jerusalem. I don't know, some really striking like imagery and stuff.
Well, Seth had this
Awful habit.
Oh yeah, well we do this cool thing where we'll start writing a song. We always write the music first before we do the lyrics, and so usually we'll come up with the vocal melody, and so Seth will just make up words to go along with the melody, and sometimes the stuff that he says we can end up making sense of and writing the song based around that, and sometimes he says some really cool stuff because it's like, I don't know, I have a feeling that some of that stuff is like stuff that's really inside your heart, and so like since you're just saying it, you know, just trying to come up with it that, you know, off the top of your head, you end up saying some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm usually not like saying like ridiculous things. It's like things that make sort of sense.
Yeah, so like with Cassiopeia, that one took a really long time for us to figure out a name for, and it's just because,
You can go for it, man.
Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, it's just, at least what I understood about it was about a girl, and her name is Cassie, and so I was like, okay, well, how about we kind of like make her, you know, this kind of thing that's in the sky, like this beautiful thing that you can admire. Yeah, so like the constellation Cassiopeia.
And like the hook of the song is "Your love is heaven sent," so like heaven.
Heaven,
stars. And also you referenced the Casio keyboard.
Oh yeah.
That's in Slow Down
Slow Down
Jerusalem. So it kind of links the songs
Oh
together
right,
in a way.
That's right. I don't even know.
Slow Down Jerusalem was just about a trip to Chicago I had,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun for me. And I got to go out on I guess the Chicago side of, would it be Lake Michigan, I think? And it was frozen over somehow, and all this like sea glass had floated up to the top. And so I was just collecting that in this like pill bottle. That was pretty fun. What about some of the lyrics?
I don't know, it's all really collaborative, so you start to forget what lyrics
I think,
you wrote.
yeah, very collaborative. A lot of the songs we wanted to sort of thematically make about just like growing up in general. Probably is most evident on like the opening track of Good Times, about how like Mother Nature's telling her children like, okay, you gotta like, you know, move on, sort of a thing. But since it's the opening of the album, it sort of shapes the rest of the songs, and depending how you look at it, it could be like different phases of a person's life and various like struggles and things.
Yeah, it's cool. Like the song "Estranged Brother," that's a song that like all three of us can connect with, and we were able to write the lyrics about, like, it's from the perspective of one person talking about their brother, but really it's all three of us and our relationships with our different brothers.
They're estranged.
Yeah, we each have our own very interesting, kind of estranged relationships with our brothers. So.
But then again, we're also all three estranged brothers.
Yeah, you ever think
Yeah.
Because we're just
Oh,
like
yeah.
constantly on the road
Mm-hmm.
or not home.
Strange brothers to each other. Yeah.
A lot of it was just like, I don't know, because the name Sorrowful Mysteries, it's just growing up is it's a really sad thing. Like being a little kid is sad. It's not like a happy time always.
Yeah.
And then there's just like so many things. Sorry. It's true though. I mean, like they're really happy times, obviously, but
Good times, you might say.
yeah, I don't know. It's just confusing. It's confusing being a little kid and growing up, and there's just and the mystery half of it is just there's all this unknown that I mean like is still unknown at this time in my life and your life and your life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we write about a lot of sad stuff, and the only song that actually kind of sounds like it would be sad is Friday the 13th, which is our favorite song.
yeah, that one isn't actually sad.
That says anything about us.
What does the future hold for the Duskwhales?
Well,
Probably gonna break up
uh,
after this interview.
Are you still trying to lower the amount of members in the group?
Yeah,
Is
right.
3 too many?
I
yeah.
feel like
I don't know about you.
I tried to leave both of you at a gas station.
Good luck.
There were many times in high school where Seth and I would be like, we're gonna quit the band and start our own band. Yeah, that was bad. But the
Because of that
future.
EP we made.
Yeah.
so bad.
I think the EP is the only thing that's holding us together, actually.
Yeah.
I think like that's the strong foundation.
That's that glue.
We all just moved in together. So when we get back from tour, we're not going to do any touring over the summer. And we've actually been writing a hell of a lot of songs. So we'll probably start recording another album over the summer.
Double album.
Yeah, and then go touring in the fall.
Come back here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see too far. But that's
He is.
probably, yeah. I don't know, you tell me, what's in the Duskwhales' future?
Hazy.
Yeah.
Very
I don't know
intro
about
to
that.
Might just be the
Very
prescription.
hazy.
Yeah.
But I do see that he's driving the car.
That much is clear.
That is very clear.
Hopefully,
Yes.
It's approaching like half an hour, and it's like I think Caillou's question was a good one to wrap up on. Do you have any final words, sage advice,
Bad advice?
or bad advice?
Do
Bad-
vocal warm-ups.
Bad advice. Don't walk into someone's house unless you're certain it's their house.
Don't ever walk in a house without knocking.
Yeah.
Both ways before you cross
Okay,
the
well, you know, I've got like a serious one. I've got a good one.
Serious?
We mentioned our friends Dollies, and something that their bass player Eric had said really stuck with me. That he said, like, he looks at his relationship in the band, they're also a trio, as he is serving the other two, and he's not trying to like get them to do what he wants to do, you know, whether it be like creatively or business wise. He's there to serve them, and sometimes it's really hard to remind yourself of that, especially in like, you know, when we're practicing or writing a song and you have an idea and you really want like the other guys to like understand that and pursue that idea, but they're not so into it, you know. That's just one example, but just to be able to be like, I'm here to serve them and their creative needs, and it really kind of like helps a lot. It really fixes kind of
I mean,
a lot of bad situations.
It works with anything, like
Yeah.
even outside of the band. I mean, it's just how you should live
Yeah, totally.
as a servant to others.
Just love.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much for joining us.